Hello, my name is Darla, and in this video I will explain how the development of the integrative project helped me acquire and apply new knowledge throughout the semester. So through the project Like Me, the one that we did, I learned that developing a product goes beyond design it. It involves research, decision making, and connected at different areas such as strategy, logistics, and operations. One important skill I can develop was the ability to search for information independently and apply knowledge from previous semesters. For example, during the project we had to use tools like value stream mapping, the SCM. Even though this topic was not reviewed again in class of supply chain management, we had already learned it in earlier semesters. This required me to go back to my notes, research again, refresh my understanding, and apply it correctly to our project. This helped me realize the importance of retaining and connecting past knowledge with new projects. Another key learning experience was related to transportation and logistics. In order to make the product viable, we had to consider land transportation and export possibilities. So for this, I had to research online how cargo quotations work, including freight costs and transportation options. This was a new and challenging process, but it allowed me to understand how real companies calculate costs and plan distribution. We also learned about Incoterms, which was one of the most interesting but also most complex topics, because at first it was difficult to clearly understand the responsibilities between the buyer and the seller, especially in terms of cost and risks. However, learning how Incoterms work was very valuable, particularly for an international product like ours that we wanted to export to Bogotá, Colombia. Another challenging but important part of the project was coordinating with my group members, organizing tasks, as well aligning schedules and making collective decisions required constant communication and responsibility. Although this process was kind of demanding at times, it helped me to improve my teamwork, organization, and kind of like my time management skills. Throughout the project, I became more proactive. I learned to research information, make decisions based on real data, and justify our proposals. Some parts of the project required extra effort, so the process was a bit demanding, but also very rewarding. So, in conclusion, this integrative project allowed me to apply theoretical knowledge to real cases like the one we did, and as well strengthen my research skills, understand how different areas of a project are connected, and overall it was a challenging but meaningful learning experience. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sofia Granja. In this video, I will present an individual reflection of how the integrative project contributed to my learning and academic development through the semester. From the beginning, the integrative project required more than simply following instructions or applying predefined formulas. One of the most important aspects of this course was that not all the information was provided directly. Instead, we were expected to actively search, analyze, and validate information on our own. Throughout the semester, I acquired new knowledge related to process analysis, production planning, and structured decision-making. Concepts that initially seemed abstract became much clearer once I had to apply them to a real and integrated case. This included understanding how different elements of the system interact, how planning decisions affect overall performance, and how to organize information in a logical and consistent way. A key part of this learning process was developing the ability to find reliable information independently. Since not all the necessary tools, methods, or explanations were given in class, I had to search additional sources, compare different approaches, and determine which information was relevant and applicable to the project. This required critical thinking and careful analysis rather than simply replicating examples. This experience helped me understand that engineering problems do not always come with complete instructions. Instead, they often require initiative, adaptability, and the ability to learn continuously. The integrated project reflected this reality by pushing us to make decisions based on information we gathered and interpreted ourselves. In practical terms, I applied this knowledge by analyzing production requirements, defining material needs, and organizing the process flow in order to improve efficiency and coherence within the system. Each decision requires justification, which reinforce the importance of understanding not only how to apply tools, but also why they are used. Additionally, the project strengthens several transversal skills. I improve my problem-solving abilities, analytical thinking, and time management, especially when coordinating different parts of the project under deadlines. Working independently also increased my confidence in making technical decisions and defending them with data and logical reasoning. Overall, the development of the integrative project was a valuable learning experience. It allowed me to connect theoretical concepts with practical application, develop autonomy in learning, and better understanding the type of challenges faced in real professional environments. This project contributes significantly to academic growth and to my preparation as a future industrial engineering.
Hello, my name is Maite Sandoval, and in this video I will talk about a bit of an individual reflection of how this integrative project helped me during my learning progress. In our case, we work with a product called Like Me. It was one of the experiences that helped me learn the most because it forced me to go beyond the theory and actually understand how a real supply chain works. One of the most important things I learned was how to align the supply chain decisions with the business strategy. In our case, we first started with a make-to-order and changed to a make-to-stock, which made us realize how the strategy helps the supply chain change and focus on certain things. As the project developed, I was able to apply different concepts that are used during supply chain and see how they actually work in a real practice. For example, I understand how decisions are made even before the customer places an order, and this helped me see the trade-offs between the cost, responsiveness, and the risk in a very practical way. Another key learning was working with the SCORE model. In my opinion, it gave a structure to the whole entire project. The mapping of the different processes helped me visualize the full supply chain and understand how each stage impacts overall the performance of the project. Additionally, this project pushed me to learn topics that went beyond what we directly cover in class. First, we had learned about Incoterms and export procedures and how international logistics works. But we had to research and see depending in the case, for example, in our project. I learned how responsibilities, costs, and risks are distributed between the exporter and the importer, and how choosing the correct Incoterm is essential for control costs and the delivery reliability. I also researched a lot about export and import processes, including the documentation, customs requirements, and logistics considerations when shipping products from Ecuador to another country or even in itself. This helped me understand how international trade decisions directly affect lead times, costs, and supply chain risks. Finally, by designing the KPIs on the control board, it showed how it was important that data is used for managing the supply chain. And measuring lead times, order fulfillments, and other KPIs helped me move from assumptions to real performance evaluations. This overall helped me connect the strategy, operations, and international logistics into one integrated system. More than just learning concepts, it helped me develop analytical thinking and understand how supply chain decisions are made in real business environments. It was a very enlightening experience which helped me progress in how my view of the world works.
Hello, my name is Valeria Rodriguez, and in this video I will reflect on how the development of the supply chain integrative project Like Me allowed me to acquire and apply new knowledge through the semester. This project helped me understand supply chain concepts in a practical way, connecting theory with real operational decisions and showing how different areas on the supply chain are interrelated. Through the semester, working on the Like Me project strengthened my understanding of supply chain management. particularly in areas such as process flow, demand planning, logistics, and coordination between different stages on the chain. One of the most important learning was analyzing the supply chain as an integrated system rather than isolated activities. This allowed me to understand how decisions related to suppliers, inventory transportation, and distribution directly impact efficiency, cost, and service level. Additionally, this project helped me to apply concepts related to demand analysis and planning. Working with data and assumption requires critical thinking scenarios evaluation and understanding how forecasting supports strategies and operational decisions within the supply chain. The project also reinforced the importance of capacity planning and resource management. By analyzing constant and proportion improvements, I developed strong analysis skills and more realistic approach to problem solving within supply chain context. At the same time, there were moments in the project where I became clear that not all the necessary tools or information were fully available. Although this encouraged curiosity and independent research, in some cases it makes the analysis more challenging and less precise. However, these experiences are also reflect real world supply chain scenarios where decisions often have to be made with limited information. In conclusion, the Like Me supply chain project allowed me to apply theoretical knowledge in a practical and integrative manner. It strengthened my analytical skills, decision making abilities, and understanding of the real supply chain dynamics. Overall, this project contributes significantly to my academic and professional development in an industrial engineering STEM, preparing me to approach complex study supply chain problems with a critical structure and adaptable mindset. And thank you for watching.